everybody? Welcome to the Disrespectful Truth Podcast with your boy DJ Dyzell, a.k.a. Dyzell, Chancellor, the Trump Troll, and your boy JTM, Josh the Man. And today is episode 2. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to jump right into it. Josh, how can someone rebuild intimacy in a relationship after it has been lost? And go.
Oh, man.
Oh, man.
That's,
boy.
That's a good one.
That's a toughie.
Wow. I would say
they can't. It's already run its course. We're not sexual anymore.
It's not your turn. It's not your turn. It's not your turn, sir. It's Josh's turn.
Definitely you kind of want to revisit what was there in the first place, because when you were attracted to this person, what was your thing? Like, what was it about them? Were they bikers? Like, did you like the whole biking thing? And now you guys are parents and that's no longer happening. Guess what? Time to have date nights. Let's go biking again. Let's go put on our leather jackets. Let's get you turned up more. Let's try new things out. You got people that, like different things in the bedroom, or if the spark just kind of faded out, let's try new stuff. Let's experiment. But the one thing you want to do is do everything together. You don't want to do it away from your partner. You guys want to, like, when you realize that the intimacy is not as great, the first thing you want to do is run to your partner. You guys get to each other and then you guys figure it out. You hatch it out.
Does intimacy necessarily have to be sexual, though?
No, and then again, even with that, you still have to come to your partner. Like if the woman or even the man is not feeling heard, maybe with their love language, comes back to that, then you guys got to come together and find that. Get to a nice setting, get to a nice place where it's just you and her, or you and him, because maybe a lot of things are happening. Maybe work is overwhelming you. Maybe your family is overwhelming you. But get back to each other. You can just be quiet and be intimate. Like have she can sit on your lap or whatever have you, and you guys can just be looking in each other's eyes, not saying a word but communicating. And
Chancellor, give me some feedback on that.
You want
Yes.
You want me to shake your hand?
Yes, I want you to shake my hand.
I tell people all the time, me, myself, the Chancellor, I am uninhibited. Have sex on the first date.
What is wrong? What does that have to do?
What does that have to do with the intimacy being lost in the
Because
relationship?
it sets the ground for excitement for the future in the relationship. If the sex is amazing on the first date, you can do anything else. That's going to be just as exciting.
But does it have to be the first date?
It relieves stress. It keeps the body calm. It clears the mind. So after you have a whole wild night of sex, you say, "Ooh, that was good. Let's go to the movies."
So basically,
it feels excitement.
So you fucking on the first night. You fuck.
Oh, I love that. That is such a turn on to have sex on the
you
first
just met
night.
this person, you know nothing about him.
Negative.
You trying to date him and you fucking on the first night.
Well, don't y'all do that anywhere at the strip club, and you don't know them either.
I'm sorry. I don't know what you're talking
that's
about.
Negative Ghost Rider.
That's not how that goes over here.
Man, I can't be.
But I understand where you're coming from. The spontaneity of having sex on the first night, whatever. But you still ain't told me what happens when that leaves.
Yeah, because
how do you get that to come back?
You can have all that good sex, but then what if that become normalized?
And it might not even be a sexual thing. That's the intimacy problem. Is not always sexual. Maybe like Josh said, the young lady's not being heard, or the young man's not being heard. Like, how do you work on the intimacy between two people? Because it's going to come a time and the point where you might not be able to have sex. Then what?
Then it's over.
No.
Then it's
anyway,
over.
No, it's not.
I don't see any other remedy for bringing back.
What about having conversations, deep, meaningful conversations? A woman could be releasing who she is on you, and she hasn't been able to do that with anybody else, and she misses that.
She can have that after the sex, because you're supposed to be laying together afterwards anyway.
But that's what I'm saying. What if the sex is not the problem? Sex is not always an intimate situation. Some people have intimacy issues and they getting their black blowed out. That's not always
facts.
What
saying.
fixes intimacy.
It's the whole thing. Like,
I think us as men, we have to be better with that.
Yeah.
We think, babe,
I blew it back out. She's straight.
Yeah.
No.
Like, babe, I'm having I feel like
can I hold a conversation?
is going.
Can we talk for hours? Like, can we do all that kind of stuff?
Yeah.
Can I do with you that I've never done with anybody else? I probably had sex with other people. I probably had amazing sex with other people. What can you do to stand out to me? Why am I going crazy over you? Because not only do you, is it good sex or the sex is okay, but at the same time, I can open up to you. I can tell you everything. I can tell you all my darkest secrets. There's no judgment. There's no nothing. And you offer that, but the world gives me the opposite. And that's
because you choose to.
But what I'm trying to ask you is, Chancellor, what we're trying to ask you is, if you have that in the beginning, sex is amazing, she hanging off the motherfucking chandelier, all that, but then she comes to you and she says she feels like the intimacy in y'all relationship is gone, maybe because y'all done got into a pattern, it's become, the routine and everything. Yeah. How do you change up the routine? And we're not talking about change up by bringing toys into the bed. We're talking about change up the routine of the intimacy that's going on. How do you change? How do you address that? How do you fix it?
I don't think you can.
And that's an honest answer. I'm not mad at that.
And that's for you to figure out on the first date when you have sex.
You know what?
Okay.
I can't with this man, bro.
A lot of women and men have fantasies that you might not be able to fulfill, but they'll still tolerate you and make sacrifices.
Move on to the next one.
For you.
But fantasies and intimacy are not the same thing, Chancellor.
Deep down inside, a lot of people have sexual things that they want to do that they can't do with everybody. And when they find you, a person that really loves them, they don't know how to either tell you that or express what they want to do. So that might cause an intimacy issue later on down the line because they want to fulfill that fantasy and they don't know how to talk to you about it or tell you about it because they're afraid of losing you because you're not going to want to agree to do that.
So we're going to move on. I understand where you're coming from, but you still didn't answer that question. Anyway, what advice do you have for someone who is struggling with jealousy or insecurity in their relationship? And I'm going to let the troll go ahead and jump on that.
If you're struggling with jealousy, that's your problem.
And or insecurity.
That's your problem. I don't know what you want me to do about it. I have no degree.
No, we're talking to the person who's struggling with the jealousy and insecurity. How can what things should they do to help cope with that or get past that? It's definitely a you battle, for sure.
That's a question for a psychiatrist, I believe. A normal person can't do anything about that.
Well, that's an answer. That's an answer, sir. Therapy. That's an actual answer.
That's a real answer.
Judges.
Bang! It's up there.
It's up there.
Therapy. Okay, Josh.
I was actually that was gonna be my first rebuttal as far as therapy goes. But that doesn't always mean seek professional help, even though, that is an option that unfortunately a lot of us don't take advantage of, but
at all,
but
black people go to therapy.
Yeah.
Go.
That's one way, but the other way is still like definitely the church. Church could be a means out as far as for, therapeutic purposes.
You said the church?
The church, yeah.
I don't think God can help you with your insecurity, my boy. That's just me being honest.
Well,
going to church my whole life, every Sunday.
No, but that doesn't mean it works for everybody. I'm giving you different paths, different outlets because it works for some people.
Church, though?
Church, yeah. You go to church.
So church going to help you with your insecurity in your relationship.
You know why? Because you pray for that. You can go to church and say, I won't help specifically.
To go to church to pray?
I understand that. But you don't have to go to church
I surely
to
don't.
get that. Somebody else that trusts the church.
You think somebody with an insecurity and jealousy issue within their relationship can go before the throne of God and he going to help them with that?
You know why?
I think the Lord going to laugh at you.
Maybe.
I believe that.
But if he gonna laugh at us, then why would they even why is it in the Bible to say come to him with all your worries, come to him with all your things?
That's definitely in the Bible, but I think God has bigger fishes to fry than you than be worried about why you worried about the person He gave you.
Understood.
You insecure about him.
Understood, but that won't.
It's a bit much.
But maybe, but that thought process won't stop somebody from taking heed to what that was said.
Okay, I can agree with that.
Going to the front and saying, I am having trouble, Lord, oh Lord, I am having trouble in my relationship with insecurity and jealousy issues. Please help me.
Well, to piggyback off of what you're saying, the first step for a person to deal with insecurity and jealousy, I've been there, so I can talk about it. You have to acknowledge that you're insecure and jealous.
Big time.
Because most people that are insecure and jealous do not acknowledge that that's what's going on.
Well, no, there's two ways. It's never just one angle. Not only, yes, you have to acknowledge it, but what if you're not self-aware? You have to Somebody's telling you, you have
Yeah.
to trust that person that's telling you that they have my best interest at heart and they're not just coming for me. Because the first thing we
sure.
have in our
Defense mechanism.
Defense is like, defense is up. What you mean by that? And we take offense. But if your mom is talking to you, the person that you're with, that you trust is talking to you, or uncle, auntie, whoever it is in your life that's telling you you have jealousy or insecurity issues, one of the first thing is, can you accept that first? Can you accept it inside of you first to say, okay, something's going on with me, I want to fix it? Or are you that strong of a person to notice that yourself? Like, you just wake up one day and like, damn, I really messed up in my relationships. I think it's because I'm jealous and insecure.
Yeah, that's not going to happen. But I'm going somewhere with this. So we had a situation happen with one of our pop icons, Keke Palmer. She went to the Usher concert. She was dressed amazingly, I might add. Keke, you was doing your thing. And her baby daddy boyfriend at the time, he went on social media and started, bashing her about what she was wearing and calling her an unfit mother and all of these things. So do you think that stemmed from him being insecure in their relationship, or did you think he had the right to do that? Like, I need y'all opinions on this thing because, it's a hot topic
You want
right
this,
now.
Trump?
The troll got to go first. I want to hear what
start
Trump
it?
got to say about it.
So the question is about his insecurity.
Do you think he was insecure? Do you think the steps he took was right? Do you think he could have went about it a different way? Like, do you think she was wrong? Like, but I believe that his response stemmed from his own insecurity, but I want to hear y'all thoughts on it.
I don't think it might have come from his insecurity per se. As far as Usher is concerned, I think he just did it because it was Usher. Because any other man would have did that, and I'm pretty sure they've done that before with Keke. He didn't have anything to say then. But because he got so much attention from his action with Keke and his interaction with her on stage, that he didn't like it.
Okay. It's cool not to like something. I understand that. But why go to social media and put that on social media, casting that shadow over y'all situation?
That right there.
Because he wants the same attention, the same amount of attention that Keke got at the concert to be on him about him and his feelings.
If that's the case, that's a stupid way of going about doing it. I'm sorry.
Some men do that.
Understood. But the only thing that I'm going to disagree, with wholeheartedly without even looking at both sides of the fence. I disagree of putting it out in public. Like, even if you felt like that should have been a conversation inside that bedroom with me and my woman or whatever, because we don't know their relationship. We don't know. Maybe that was something for him as far as a deal breaker for him, where it's like, look, I'm not comfortable with seeing other guys on you. They could have had that. That doesn't mean he's insecure.
What
whatever.
does he do? Is he like an athlete or something?
I have not the slightest idea, my brother.
know.
I didn't know who he was until he started dating her.
Facts.
Nothing against this king. But my thing is, you're dating Keke Palmer.
And that's what I'm saying.
There are things you're going to have to deal with that the average man.
She's a star. She's a star.
No, but you got some celebrities. You got some stars that are very not that. You got some. That's what I'm saying. It depends on. I don't care how big you are or how average you are. It still depends on y'all relationship, how y'all see things. Because Keke could be like, look, I know you don't like women going out and certain things and doing certain stuff. So let me make my decision. And he could have been like, well, damn, you Keke Palmer. So let me make my decision. Like,
but my thing is this, and I'm pretty well sure this happened. Keke Palmer has a team that's going to prep you for certain situations if these things happen. I'm pretty sure they had a discussion. If they didn't, they should. Hey, look, if something happens, you can't go to the internet and blast me.
Bro, that's why I disagree with him wholeheartedly for doing that.
Now listen, I'm not mad at him. Usher rubbing up all on my girl,
dude,
singing nice and slow.
He did it in Boondocks.
Like
he did it in Boondocks.
I'm not having that.
Did it in Usher? You did it in Boondocks. Everybody saw Boondocks. I personally wouldn't have gotten mad. That's just me. I would have actually been very, very flattered that my girl was chosen to be the Boondocks person.
That's cap. That's big cap. That's
you
cap.
Say what you want.
You would have felt some type of way.
You say what you want. It's Usher singing on you.
It's cap.
It's Usher singing on you.
I give no fucks.
It's Usher.
I understand it's Usher. I still would have felt some type of way.
Nah, it's Usher.
But it's not Usher's fault.
I don't blame Usher either.
I don't blame him either. He was doing his show. Keke the one stood up and invited the energy, so he just reciprocated.
And what if Usher was on her list? Everybody got the list.
What?
Because, bruh, let Beyonce do some stuff like that to me.
That's actually happened. She gave someone a lap dance.
Come on,
stage.
man.
She actually gave, I think it was Terrence Howard.
Come on, man.
She gave him a lap
Come
dance
on,
on stage,
man.
and ain't nobody hear nothing from Jay-Z.
I'm letting you know right now, in my relationship, I would have walked in the door. What? Oh, she wouldn't have said nothing, especially if that person's on my list. What? Okay, because we done talked about this.
Man, listen.
We done talked about this.
My only issue I had was I felt like...
She probably would have came in that house, I would have applauded her. I would have been like, he's on your list. Good job.
Listen, I just want people to keep, the communication thing. You never make your girl look a certain type of way in front of everybody, especially coming from you.
Yeah, I definitely wouldn't have done that.
She has to be protected from everybody else. She shouldn't have to protect herself
Facts.
from you as well.
Facts.
Not saying I understand how you felt.
I understand how you feel
but
too.
bro, like he could have handled that a lot better. He could have handled that a lot better.
That's y'all conversation.
But it is what it is,
Not for the public.
So, how can someone communicate their needs and boundaries effectively in a relationship?
What's with all these technical questions?
Hey man, got to dive deep.
It's a technical world. Trump is a technical world.
Yeah, but you don't have
deep.
technical people in it.
How can you communicate your boundaries effectively in a relationship? How can you do that? Because I don't know.
Define boundaries.
I mean, some people have
Like, I don't have sex on the first night. That's a boundary. How would you?
Well, Trump ain't gonna date you then. If you don't try to get it the first time. That's what it is. He already made that abundantly clear. That's not a boundary. That's a requirement.
See, I didn't even have to say nothing. They did it.
He got a paper, and on the paper, number one in the italic bold size is "I'm getting that pussy the first night." That's him, and that's totally fine. But we talking about communicating your boundaries effectively. Like, okay, I go to church and every Sunday, and I want to be with somebody that will go to church with me. It's some women that are like that. Mm-hmm. Or, I have kids.
Some men too.
And I can't introduce a man to my kids until I know that they're serious about me.
That's a really good boundary.
Those are boundaries. You feel what I'm saying?
That's a very good boundary.
You got some women that got dudes running in and out the house and they don't know, and we're not going to get into that.
That's
a boundary.
Show.
You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Those are the type of boundaries I'm talking about. Even with you don't want everybody in your house.
Some people be lying though.
Elaborate.
Because they want you to respect their boundaries and they got all these restrictions and rules on you and they still act an ass later on down the line.
Oh, yeah. I knew it was going to come.
And then this is when the man wants to get outraged and mad. Oh, I did this for you. I sacrificed this for you. I stopped doing this for you. Well, that's what you chose to do.
But a lot of women don't exercise their boundaries early on, and then later on in the relationship it becomes an issue. Prime example, a woman that says, I don't like the fact that you called me a bitch, but he been calling you a bitch for 9 months, and then in the 10th month all of a sudden there's a problem.
What I'm talking about.
Okay, wait, you have a problem with how I talk to you? I've been talking to you like this for 10 months.
Nice.
Like I tell my female friends all the time, a man will only do
what you
allow him to do.
Yeah.
So if that man been cussing you out and throwing you down the stairs for 10 months, why you calling the police? The 11th month. You didn't hit the floor about 10, 20 times. What, you finally tired? No, you need to exercise that in the beginning. Hey, you ain't finna put your hands on me. You're not finna talk to me like this. If you exercise those things early on, you ain't got to deal with them later on. Because if he can't apply to that,
listen, I'm letting you know right now, there's gonna be certain things that we talk about, and I'm just gonna chime in and say first date. That means there are certain things
Facts.
that should be said and asked on the first date. Are you an abuser?
Are you crazy?
Are you? And I don't even care if they're going to lie about it. Let them lie about it. And when you get signs or things hitting towards that, you can say, well, on the first date, you signed right here saying that this is what you're not. This is what you're not going to do. This is what you're not going to do, and now you're doing it. These are grounds for termination.
For sure.
First date.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Sex on the first date.
Not first date. That is not
Ladies
qualified
and
first
gentlemen,
date for
I want y'all to understand that a woman and or a man will only do to you what you allow them to. Let them people know what you will and won't deal with out the gate. That way, when they violate that, it is your turn to walk out the door or whatever you want to do. The ball is now in your court. If you don't do that, later on in the relationship, y'all got 3, 4, 5 kids later, you start complaining about something. It's like, wait a minute. Been doing this the whole time and now it's a problem.
Facts.
And that's how relationships fall apart. That's how friendships fall apart. That's just how relations in general fall apart because people aren't honest with what they want, how they want to be. Like, contrary to popular belief, it's a lot of women that want to fuck on the first date. but they don't want to be looked at as a hoe or looked at. Girl, if that's what you do, you want to bust that shit wide open, go ahead. Ain't nobody stopping you. Do what you got to do.
Who cares? You're grown. If you're a whore, you're a whore.
Pretty much. That's look.
What are you scared
But that's
of?
conversation for another episode. Ladies
That's actually a first date. That's actually a first date comment. Listen, I'm a hoe. Like, but they ain't gonna say that. Nobody's gonna say that. Guys ain't gonna say that. Women ain't gonna say that.
I don't know,
That's not
Josh.
something to be said.
I got some homeboys that'll tell.
Hey, look, on the first date, I'm a hoe.
Yeah,
Now
I'm a
you know
hoe. Like I'm out here.
Trump would do it.
I'm out
Trump
here.
would
I'm
do
out
it.
here slanging from the vines. I know homies that's like that, bro.
No,
like,
if I actually,
but what happens
you
is
know.
women don't believe them. They think they can change that. Oh, when you get this pussy, you ain't gonna want. Nah, he's still gonna be fucking on Keisha. He's still gonna be fucking on Jasmine. He's still gonna be fucking on them. So,
All right,
ladies and gentlemen, this has been episode 2 of the Disrespectful Truth Podcast. We appreciate y'all, and we hope to see y'all next time. It's been Chancellor Trump, JTM Josh the Man. I am DJ Dyzell, aka Dyzell, and we will see y'all soon.